Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I am joined by local father and creator, Chris Kokella. He is the creator of this new toy called Brackitz. At least it's new to me. Maybe you guys have heard of it already, but welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
Thank you so much.
Nice to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so this is pretty exciting. I love talking about toys, and it's funny because as adults, we often find ourselves reverting back to things that we think would be fun to play. This is for kids, but man, this would be fun to play with, I think, myself.
Oh, we've had lots of adults like to play with them.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Well, give me the story behind how this came about in the first place. Your kids are largely that inspiration that caused you to develop this.
They were. My kids were about 4 and 5 years old when I realized that they were just doing stacking blocks, but the next point in toys was, 4 or 5 years later. So I thought, well, why can't we connect regular stacking blocks with some sort of connector to kind of defy gravity.
Right. Okay, cool. So part of what your purpose in doing this was to help kids focus a little bit more on those things related to like STEM education, things that were, I don't want to say simple for them, but easier to use than some other engineering toys that were out there. Describe how that worked.
Right, because at those young ages, really, kids can't manipulate the more complicated things. So they need something simple to put together. But I wanted to bring about something that challenged them and got into problem-solving skills, but also allowed them to express their imagination and invent things.
Cool.
So such that it could be totally open-ended. They can connect anywhere along the block. It's not a snap to in any particular way.
And you can kind of bend it or like manipulate, as you can see. It doesn't have to be like strictly in place, like straight. Is what
right, you can put it anywhere along the block.
That's cool. I love that you have like different color connectors too. That's pretty fun.
Bright colors.
Yeah.
We try to be really gender neutral too, so that we don't tell kids, how to be or what to build.
Yep.
They can build what they would like to build.
That's so much fun. I love it. Well, tell me about the reception you've received from this type of toy. You're actually working with a lot of folks on this, and I want to hear a little bit about the fact that initially you were still working something else, and now this is your full-time job with Brackitz, right?
It is now my full-time job. That's right. We have a small team, and we're nationwide and international, and so there's been really good reception. We have a number of awards, various toy awards.
Yeah, tell me about those.
Well, some from the National Parenting Center has approved the toy, Dr. Toy. We've won a couple STEM awards.
Excellent.
We're in schools, science and technology museums, as well as specialty retail, and this next year, mass retail.
So as a creator of something like this, what is it like for you to see people recognizing it so openly like that? I mean, like you said, it's in museums, it's going to be mass retail shortly, and then also with those awards. What does that feel like?
Oh, it feels great. It's scary too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, you spend a lot of time seeking attention, and then when you get it, you're like, oh my gosh,
how do I
here we are.
This? Yeah.
What do we do now?
Well, kind of explain that process as an inventor, as a creator, and putting your own company together. Because like I said before, initially, I mean, it took a little bit to get this started up. You weren't doing it exclusively.
Oh, that's correct. I had a job, and I took a lot of baby steps, and I tried to take the smallest step as possible so that I could, digest it. And then when I got to a point where I could make, I had some prototypes that worked, I could make a small production, and then I slowly worked my way into, teachers' classrooms and museums, gaining a little bit of success along the way.
And now you're here.
And now I'm here.
With
a team and other folks as part of the team.
Excellent.
So it's really great to be able to share that and not be alone.
Very good. That is fantastic. Share with me what the process has been like to feel like you are making a difference in the learning process for children, particularly, and allowing them to grow in that way.
The biggest thing is probably when I hear from teachers, STEM educators, as well as educators inside the science museums, and I go back in, I say, how's it going? And they say, oh my gosh, the kids and the families love it. We have parents building with the kids, and kids building together, so cooperatively, because our product is big and durable.
Yeah, you can do
kids
tons
can share.
of stuff with this.
It's not a small thing that's for one person.
Sure.
And that's
you're kind of forced into sharing. It's like with the big pile of Legos or whatever. It's like you want to share, you want to build stuff together, and it's fun.
That's right, and that works really well in classrooms too.
Cool. So tell me about, because you're working with teachers, what other professionals and such are you working with?
Well, primarily teachers. I'm in charge of a lot of the educational stuff, and we have a team that's working on the retail as well. We've done some corporate sort of out of the box breakout sessions, which are really fun because you get adults trying to solve challenges with the same things that the kids are.
Nice.
And they have fun and they're challenged too. And so it really, it's really fun because you realize you've come up with something that has such a broad audience and hits so many many needs.
That's so cool. I love it. So tell me about as a creator, as an inventor, and one starting your own company, clearly, like we said before, you got your inspiration from your kids.
I did.
Largely, but kind of explain that process, being open to these opportunities and ideas that are out there, because, it's not like were you trying to invent something like this, or it just kind of came to you?
Well, it just kind of came to me, by way of my kids and things that I felt were lacking developmentally for them at the time. And so the way my mind works is once I start seeing an opening, I just naturally head in that direction.
That's so great.
And it was a lot of tape and glue and scissors and things to get things going. And once I kind of had the basic form down, I then worked toward prototypes. 3D printing's all the rage right now. Nice. And so we did some of that, and then we developed production and went from there.
Excellent.
Again, just baby steps along the way.
Cool. Well, it's interesting how you say that you saw a need there, and that's where kind of most innovation or new things develop from, is that you see there's a space out there in the market, or there's something that's not being fulfilled, and you kind of filled that space, I think, in allowing and kind of bridging the gap between these more difficult engineering related toys and a younger age, and allowing kids to do it in the way you have. And clearly you found a pretty good niche there.
Yeah, it's worked out really well. I mean, the key is working with your customers, both the kids, of course. I've spent a lot of time in classrooms with kids, but also listening and working with teachers to understand what they need in a classroom. Simple pieces, open-ended pieces, things that inspire imagination, math, engineering.
Nice. And then last of all, the toy industry is such a big animal. Let's be honest. There's so many new products and stuff that are coming out all the time. Kind of explain what that was like in being part of such a gigantic industry, and kind of what kept you going in terms of advice you'd have for those looking to maybe, approach. That was a loaded question, I know, but
it's a big one.
But the point being is that, you did it. You made it happen. You're a father that wanted to find something cool for your kids, and you did it. Yes.
Well, I started small, and I worked with local toy stores and local toy groups, and established some relationships to see, am I on target? Am I doing okay? Is my packaging working? Is the product fit? Is all those kinds of things, and that was fairly straightforward. It's hard work, but relatively easy to do. But then going to like Toy Fair in New York, which I've been to several. Oh, it's super fun.
I'm sure that was pretty rough.
Oh my gosh! When you say big industry, it is huge there, and it's big business too, obviously. And that's a bit scary, for sure. But at the end of the day, everyone's a person out there, and if you have a good idea and it's working, people will talk to you and want to work together. So.
Well, clearly they wanted to chat with you, of course, given the success that you're seeing and that you will continue to see. And so thank you for being here this morning. Remind us where we can find your product. You said at retail, it's kind of blowing up in the next year or so, but
here
also
in Park
online.
City and Salt Lake, we're in some specialty retail online at our website at Brackitz.com.
Cool.
We're also on at Amazon, and then more and more bigger retailers coming in early 2016.
Excellent.
And some new products for Christmas.
Ooh, exciting! We should bring you back on to chat about
that.
those.
Would be great.
That would be very cool.
That we're very excited about.
Excellent.
At a lot more variety.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Chris. Nice to have you here. These are so cool, guys. You should really check them out for your kids, especially those younger aged ones, or adults too. Let's be honest. We like playing with these things too.
They're super fun.
I know, right?
Big.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. Well, thank you so much. Nice to have you here this morning,
welcome.
Chris. You can check more out at Brackitz online. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Let you know what we've been up to this weekend.